creepy kid and an Indian got into a staring contest and the internet went on the warpath. But I missed the whole thing because I was too busy watching fire documentaries. Now I'm spitting that fire in a piping hot episode of the Savage Sack Tap, and it starts right now.
You're listening to the Savage Sack Tap. It's not a podcast, it's not a half-cast, it's just a quick shot to the balls to help you finish off the week. We're cutting through the bullshit, filling your Friday with rage-fueled logic, and cracking a few jokes along the way. So grab a bag of frozen peas. There's a Savage Sack Tap coming your way.
Smooth, lascivious, salacious, outrageous.
To make this thing come together and be amazing. Rockstar shit, I'm telling you. And this is me and Billy's favorite toast. And it goes to all of us in the room. Here's to living like movie stars, partying like rock stars, Billy.
And fucking like porn stars.
Yes.
I love that. Greetings, Mike Montone, Savage Sack Tap. How are we doing? I hope that live shot's coming in okay. I don't know if it's cutting off part of my head or not, but I don't know if it is too fucking bad. I don't know what to tell you. I can't see the thing, so who knows. I absolutely love that toast from Ja Rule and Billy McFarland. I have been watching fire documentaries and reading articles about fire and looking up fire on social media and just being all around obsessed with fucking fire for the past week or so. And if you don't know what fire is what happens when a dipshit, Billy McFarland, tries to put on the world's biggest music festival with another dipshit, Ja Rule. And hilarity, among other things, ensued. And if you don't know who Billy McFarland is, he is, fuck's the best way to describe him, a wannabe elite millennial, I guess, is the best way to put it. He's the kind of guy who thinks that Snapchatting yourself from floor seats at like a game or a concert is it gives you status. One of these guys obsessed with status. Like even if you watch the documentary, even after it all fell apart and he's supposedly broken out on bail for fucking wire fraud, he's like holding meetings up in penthouse suites and trying to run other scams. It really, really interesting shit. But if you ever read that old website, I don't know if it's still around anymore, Elite Daily, or if you have, like, you know the song "Let Me Take a Selfie." Let me tap it first. Let me take a selfie. What's the fucking? There's fucking ridiculous. There's a ridiculous line from that song that I just wanted to drop, and I totally fucking spaced on it. But you know what song I'm talking about. If you want to know what kind of guy Billy McFarland is, the kind of guy who hangs out at like 235th, if you're a New York City guy, if you're not, 235th is a club within view of the Empire State Building, and they have a roof deck, and you go out there, and even if it's winter, the roof deck is open so you can see the Empire State Building, because when you're an elite millennial, you don't worry about being fucking cold, alright? You go up there and they got space heaters and big fluffy robes to give you, and then you go back downstairs to your asshole friends and the bottle service and etc., and can continue to hide your personality behind your awful lack of personality behind just fucking mounds and mounds of cocaine. So that's the kind of guy Billy McFarland is. And then you throw Ja Rule into the mix, and Ja Rule, I mean, I know I'm not alone in saying this, but Ja Rule is the rapper that I just love to fucking hate. You can't act hard if you're dropping love songs with Ashanti, alright? When I was a teenager, nothing gave me more joy than hearing Ja Rule get dissed on a track by G Unit. I believe Wanksta, 50 Cent's first. Yeah, I said 50, like, you know, that's how we say it. That's how we said it back in Jamaica, Queens. But 50 Cent, his first real breakout song before, like, in the club and all that was Wanksta. It is apparently, I didn't realize Wanksta was like the original Ja Rule diss track, because I'd heard like all those other songs like Go to Sleep with like Eminem and everybody, but I didn't realize that Wanksta, a mainstream success, was also shitting on Ja Rule. So that was something interesting I learned from the internet the other day. I believe I heard that on the Jim and Sam show. But yeah, I think I had a Ja Rule CD in 6th grade, and then you realize, you get a little older, you're like, oh, this guy, what's this guy's deal? He's not like Tupac, because Tupac wasn't a bitch. So what is he? Like, is he trying to be DMX? Is he trying to be, who's he trying to, because he's not trying to, you know, he kind of like throws the vocal intonations behind things like he's DMX, except DMX is a gangsta ass motherfucker, and Ja Rule is, you know, he's Ja. You could, if your friend with the mom who had the minivan and wasn't too fond of the rap music, if he had a bunch of people over, you know, had the boys and girls over to hang out in the basement, no parents allowed, if they heard Ja Rule coming, the sounds of Ja coming from the basement, they, you know, mom's gonna feel okay. It is suburban mom friendly rap. It's like if Will Smith had a friend who once held on to a gun for somebody for a couple of days. That's where Ja Rule is on sort of the gangster scale. Like he's I don't know if you ever see, we got a lot of surveillance footage in the news around here, and every once in a while, like, a bodega owner will just beat the shit out of an armed robber. I feel like that's what would happen if Ja Rule tried to commit armed robbery. He'd wind up getting his ass kicked by a Lebanese guy with a crowbar. So those are the minds behind Fyre Festival. And if you're wondering what Fyre is, it's Fyre, by the way. Fyre was going to be an app that they would use to book celebrities for events, because Billy tried to book, for some reason he was trying to book Ja Rule, which is, you could do an entire documentary on that. Like, why, oh yeah, there's this guy and he wanted to book Ja Rule for an event, and you could literally do 90 minutes on why the fuck nobody in their right mind would ever book Ja Rule for an event. But Billy McFarland creates this app to book celebrities, to make it easier to book celebs, and he teams up with Ja Rule, because apparently, I mean, what look is that for your celebrity booking app, that the best person you could get to go in on it with you is Ja Rule, who despite the album sales that he did in the late 1990s, is not even, there's not even a section of the hip-hop world where he's considered a celebrity anymore, let alone the real world. But they decide to promote this app with Fyre Fest, and it's going to be the world's biggest music festival. The only problem is, when you heard that little toast that I played in the beginning, here's to living like movie stars, partying like rock stars, and fucking like porn stars. When Ja Rule, that was like New Year's Eve, I think he gave that toast. Yeah, here's to the festival. Here's to the festival. When he gave that toast, they only had 6 months to plan this Fyre Festival, and they wanted to do it on an island once owned by Pablo Escobar. I'm not sure if you've ever seen the movie Blow, when they're talking about Normand Cay. He's got to go fucking see. He's got to see his old partner down at Normand Cay. Yeah, that they rented that private island. They put together a killer lineup, the Good Music Family, and that's how you know I'm getting old as fuck. Is I have no idea who the Good Music Family. Like, if I saw that on a poster, I'd be like, oh, yeah, of course you're advertising good. They should have like the shitty music record label, and it would be Ja Rule and a bunch of other artists. The worst art, the worst, Jerry, the worst. What else? They were gonna have they were gonna have models swimming with wild boars is actually a thing that they wanted to have going on there. He tried to rent a pirate ship. There was gonna be luxury camping and 5-star chefs. And this dipshit, thought he was going to arrange it all, put the entire thing together, fund it, everything, inside of like 6 months, which is fantastic. And they produced this ridiculous promo video, which includes everything I just explained. Billy wanted the cameras running at all times, and he's got this like short, fat, weaselly guy in horn-rimmed glasses is like his little taskmaster who he sends around to crack the whip and make sure everything's going right and things are up to speed. And he's just like a neurotic little fucker. So you add him into the mix, and they're shooting this promo video. Makes the thing look ballin' as fuck, because they had all of like the top models on the planet. Was it Emily Ratajkowski, whatever? She's sexy as fuck. But it's just them getting fucked up on this island for a weekend, and then they chop the footage together with these ridiculous sort of, I don't know if they're like, it's supposed to be motivational or inspirational quotes, like just like stupid things. This isn't even one of them, but it's just indicative of what one of them would be. It's things like, when you believe that inspiration lies within your grasp. Like stupid shit like that nobody knows what it means. And it's just that, like, fading out with pulsating dance music over some guy riding a jet ski. And you're like, oh, so if I grasp inspiration, I can realize that it's fun to ride a jet ski around some of the most attractive women in the world and swim with wild boars. Yeah, no shit. You could have told me that. I don't need to be inspired to do that. If you woke me up in the morning, you're like, hey, Mike, hurry up. I got the jet ski, I got the 10 hottest women on the planet, I got a bunch of wild boars, and I got a charter flight down to the Caribbean. We're going to be on Pablo Escobar's Old Island. I'm like, yeah, sign me up. So it's not shocking that when all of these, the video was put out to, they're called social media influencers. And if you don't know what a social media influencer is, good for you. Unfortunately, I'm about to shatter the world of unwitting bliss that you once lived in. A social media influencer is, because there are apparently people out there who are easily influenced by what they see people sharing on Instagram. An influencer is a person with a big enough following, and they'll do this. Like smaller companies will do this too. Like I'm a big pothead, as you know, so I follow a lot of stoner accounts, and they will share. They'll show themselves using a product or doing whatever that relates to a company, maybe wearing a hat from a different brand or something like that. And if it's a person who's well known in the marijuana community, say it's Snoop Dogg. And he's got a pack of what do I got here? A raw lighter, and he's smoking raws, and he's talking about how much he likes raw rolling papers. That would be Snoop Dogg acting as influencer to the pothead community. But what more like when you talk about influencers in sort of the pop culture sense, it's people like the Kardashians who, you know, they don't really do anything. It's the Kardashians, like, at the apex of it, but there's this sort of whole cabal of young people on social media they're usually very good-looking young people who work with, they have their own like perfect camera setups and everything, and they do professional shoots, but they try to make it look like whatever they're doing is natural and organic, and you know, it wasn't planned. This is just the way I live my life. This is the way I live this life of leisure. So all of these influencers are sharing this absurd commercial for Fyre Fest, and they all did it. They all shared it at the exact same time to create a social media buzz. It's almost like Slender Man for millennials. Like, if you know, Slender Man is the literary character who goes and tells children to take their friends into the woods and murder them, otherwise he'll do horrible things to their family. This is sort of the digital millennial version of Slender Man, where they tell you to empty your life savings on a weekend trip to a music festival. Otherwise, you'll come down with a serious case of the FOMO, also known as fear of missing out. So you have all of these people who are dumping shit tons of money into going to this event, and all the influencers want to be there because if they're not there and people see the other influencers there, then they're going to lose influence. So this thing blows up on social media, and anyone who fancies themselves an elite millennial, which is probably, most of you probably hate those people and will love the rest of this story. Anyone who fancies themselves an elite millennial was planning to go there, but the problem is only 6 months to put together this extravagant event. You can't put together, it's hard to put together a fucking high school musical inside of 6 months. I don't know how he thought he was going to get like every band on the planet and Michelin rated chefs and all this other shit onto this island, or how he was going to fund it. And of course, I don't think he knew how he was going to do that either, because all he did the entire time was give absurd speeches about like, we're harnessing energy and delivering for our constituents. It's an experience that's going to elevate them to the top to become the elite millennial that they aspire to be. And you'd be like, a normal person would look at that and be like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about? But when he's on the couch at the Today Show or whatever, they're just like, yeah, and these millennials, they like to be inspired, don't they? He's like, oh, absolutely. And that's why we're bringing Fyre Fest to the Caribbean. And they're like, oh, like there's no skepticism or questioning whether this guy's just a batshit lunatic or a con man or an idiot or whatever it is that he actually is. And I feel like he's kind of a mix of all of them. But no planning for this show took place at all, and a fucking train wreck unfolded. First, the flights, they were banking on flights to the island showing up late. It's not a good sign when... Jesus. It's not a good sign when your strategy for avoiding disaster after 6 months of planning is, oh, hopefully the planes will be an hour late. That'll buy us a few minutes. But they didn't have enough tents. They were using like FEMA disaster relief tents. You know the ones, they look like big igloos. They put families in them after hurricanes so you can live for an extended period of time. And then the guests start showing up, and they have all of the mattresses that are supposed to be inside of these luxury tents are just stacked in piles, and people are they're staking out claims. It's like I was watching this George, was it George? No, not George. Was it Ed Burns? Ken Burns. Yeah, there are a lot of Burnses out there. I don't even know if they're related. Monty Burns. Excellent. No, I was this Ken Burns documentary on the Old West, and they're like, when they'd open up a new territory, it would literally be like a sprint across the land for people to like lay out their stakes and stake their claim and take up whatever acreage they were gonna get out in the new frontier, and that's what this was like. Except instead of weirdos in those stupid covered wagons trying to fucking dig for gold on the plains, this is a bunch of dipshits in iPhones running around trying to get tents with wet mattresses, and it was a delight to watch unfold. They turned into Lord of the Flies immediately. I guess people were hoarding toilet paper and cases of water. They said one guy they interviewed was like, "Oh yeah, you know what we did? We went into every tent surrounding ours and pissed all over it because we didn't want to have any neighbors because we didn't know how things were gonna go down." It's like the fucking Rodney King riots. Like they're just like the fucking Crown Heights. Like they're just what's gonna happen? Looting? Like these are all like trust fund. The poorest of these kids had to be doing at least as well if not better, than I'm doing to afford a ticket down there, because you got to figure your flight down to Miami, and then connecting to the Bahamas, plus a few days worth of lodging, amenities, and all that shit. They were telling them, they were using like these electro wristbands and telling them to put on $3,000 each minimum for the weekend. That's the amount of fucking spending cash you need? So it's not, you try to feel bad, but then you're like, oh, if you went to this thing, you were doing fucking fine. Then I guess someone Instagrammed or tweeted it. It's kind of like a famous tweet that really caught. This started to unfold on social media, which is kind of interesting, and I'll get to that in a second. But this picture of a cheese sandwich got tweeted, and this was after these idiots had been promised. And I guess it's easy to call them idiots in hindsight, because you put your trust in Billy McFarland and Ja Rule. But of course, if you're some kid, someone sends you an Instagram video, you're like, hey, I want to check out this sweet festival. And yeah, why not? Because it did legitimately look pretty sweet. But yeah, they're eating just fucking, not even grilled cheese either. It just looked like cheese, lettuce, and tomato on bread. Artists start pulling out. Blink-182 announces they won't be performing the festival. And then my favorite part of the entire thing falling apart is they had this gay guy on their management staff, I guess, and Customs was holding a bunch of crates of water, and Billy McFarland calls him up and doesn't say, hey, I need you to negotiate with Customs, or hey, we got to pay this tariff to get that water released. No. What does Billy do? Billy tells the guy that he's going to have to drive across the island and suck the dick of the head of Customs for the Bahamas. That was his solution. And you know when he's telling him to do it, he's like, he's thinking in his mind, like he's obviously coked out of his fucking skull. Like they said he'd be having trouble with something, and then he'd just ride off on an ATV and come back just fucking prattling on with answers and solutions that didn't make any sense. I think at one point he started crying as the entire thing began to unfold. Just a complete disaster. And in his head he's like, they're gonna look back and they're gonna talk about the time that I got that guy to suck that other guy's dick to save the day. And it was really just for a couple cases of. It wasn't even going to save the event. It was just going to get them the requisite water that they were going to need for like the first day of the event. And this guy, things were going so badly that someone was going to have to suck a dick just so that guests at this event could hydrate themselves and not die of thirst in the Caribbean sun. That's what the plan was. Yeah, so obviously the whole thing falls the fuck apart. It starts going viral on social media, and people start seeing it back in the States, and they're like, what the hell is the Fyre Festival? Like, no one had any clue, because outside of the world of social media, nobody really cares who these influencers are. Like, that's kind of the rub when it comes to social media, is that a lot of these influencers are fucking nobodies. They're just good-looking millennials who some company realized could hawk their, makeup or whatever the fuck else, and they look good on camera, and a lot of people follow them because they want to fuck them. So the companies are like, well, we'll use you to sell whatever this hot garbage is that we sell. And in this case, that hot garbage was a concert that didn't even really exist. And like I said, the Kardashians are influencers, but they're kind of the apex of influencers. They are what you can be if everything goes right as an influencer. And by everything goes right, I mean your one father was the guy who represented O.J. Simpson. Your stepfather was the greatest athlete on the planet who is now a woman. Every daughter in your family is objectively, at least compared to the civilian population, pretty hot, even the fat ones. One of those daughters has the biggest ass on the planet and showed that ass to the planet when she banged a hip-hop star, a middling hip-hop star, on camera, and the rest of your daughters are all hot little thoughts who bang NBA players. That is sort of the apex of influencer life. But most of them are just somewhat pretty people who are dumb but smart enough to parlay their looks into cash payments is probably the best way to describe an influencer. But the Fyre Festival starts to leak beyond the world of the influencers and the influenced to just the regular social media world, and now everybody is laughing because these idiots. And look, people don't like rich millennials because they often come off as fucking idiots. You know, when you're walking around a residential neighborhood in Manhattan at 11 a.m. puking your guts out after a hungover brunch, yeah, people will not like you. I don't have a problem with it. If I see a girl with her fucking skirt hiked up on the side of Second Ave, and she's puking up mimosas and poached eggs and whatever the fuck cum and vodka combo she had the night before, my first thought is, ooh, good girl. There are other people who don't like that sort of thing, and when they get to see those people that they so loathe get embarrassed sort of en masse, the schadenfreude runs high. And believe you me, that probably won't be the first time I use the phrase schadenfreude today. So anyway, yeah, he turns out Billy did not have he was essentially robbing investors and trying to, robbing Peter to pay Paul, using investments to pay for other fuck-ups he had made in the past while not funding the project, and artists are dropping out, and he can't pay the vendors, and he's on the verge of getting exposed as a massive, massive fraud. And then he goes back, and cameras are just up his ass. Like, why'd you rip all these people off? I mean, even to this week, people started GoFundMe for this restaurant that went out of pocket to cover all these people who were there without food or anything like that. I mean, this guy is just a colossal fuck up, and now he's doing 6 years in jail. So good for him. Like I said, the ultimate in schadenfreude. And I never like to dance on anyone's grave, but I can't fucking stand guys like this. And it's probably because I live in the New York area, and we have a lot of guys. Like, it's like an absurd amount of guys like this. They're and I mean from the attendees to the organizer. It's just a fucking sea of stupid. Like, the Jersey Shore, as much as I love it, especially during the summer when it reaches peak partying and fucking time, is filled with douchebags like this. The MTV Jersey Shore, the trope of the Guido that everyone in America seems to believe in. That Jersey Shore has shrank considerably since the late 80s, mid 90s, early 2000s. It's now been replaced by sort of this millennial social media culture. At least in Belmar is very heavy into that. Point Pleasant, not as bad, and then Seaside is still a Guido stronghold, thank God. But they're all, I mean, it's just fucking a douche festival. Like my gym, Retro Fitness, which you have heard me bitch about countless times, Retro Hoboken, on this very show, is kind of filled with these guys. They are they were once the Beats headphone crowd, now the AirPod crowd. They walk around, they're blasting rap music that you can hear out of their headphones, even though they grew up in like a gated Bergen County community, and they go to the gym and only do curls and maybe some pec flies and a little bit of benching. They don't even do legs anymore. There's not a fucking, it used to be those guys would at least out of sort of like a sense of guilt hit the leg press or the leg extension machine, but they literally go up, they're on the gym floor for 45 minutes doing fucking vanity work in the mirror and talking to their bro about how they're gonna bang some chick that they are definitely not going to bang. But anyway, yes, I am sort of ensconced in these jackasses on a daily basis. And by the way, their female counterparts are no better. I could go in on them as well. It's usually chicks who aren't that. They're not necessarily unattractive, but they're not really hot naturally. But they make themselves up to be like God's gift to men. Like they'll put pounds and pounds of makeup on, dress like strippers for a night out in February, which again, like I said, good girl, but completely devoid of any personality whatsoever. Like their personality exists only through Snapchat. It's a very, very sad state of affairs, which is why it's so fun to watch them crash and burn like this. So when you hear that Billy's doing 6 in the state pen for wire fraud, you don't feel so bad. I think the lessons we can glean from this are: 1, don't be influenced by social media influencers. 2, don't hitch your star to Ja Rule. And 3, don't be a douchebag. And that is that. What do we got going on? Social media. You know where you can find me. If you're watching this right now, and again, my head may be like chopped in half on the camera. I have no idea. Facebook.com/The Savage Crew. It's where the live stream's going down right now. Twitter @Mike Montone. Instagram @Gary_Moiler. And if you want the podcast, you want to download old episodes, really get into things, maybe subscribe or follow, you go to thesavagecrew.libsyn.com, or check out, there are a bunch of links at the top of the Facebook page. Again, facebook.com/The Savage Crew, and those will take you to anywhere podcasts are downloaded. Stitcher, Podbean, Libsyn, like I said, iTunes. We're in the iTunes store. Spreaker. Do you like using Spreaker? You can find us there too. All over the fucking place is the Savage Sack Tap. So no excuse not to download. Get in there and do it now. And moving on, what else do we, like I teased in the beginning, it's MAGA versus the world. I think you know which video I'm talking about. I would play it, but there isn't much audio, so it would pretty much just be me staring at a picture, or at a video of a kid staring at a Native American who's playing a drum and staring back at the kid, or Native American or Indian or whatever the fuck you're supposed to call them. I think they like being called Indians, but guilty white people like calling them Native Americans. I think that's how it works. Anyway, unless you've been living under a rock, you know the story of the MAGA hat kid and his stare down with Chief Joseph or Geronimo or whoever this fucking guy is. What's his name? Nathan Phillips, I think. But there's this video, and it was a very short video. It was 2 minutes long, and it's on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, and it's this old-timey kid, or this old-timey Indian staring at this MAGA kid, and the Indian's playing the drum, and the MAGA kid has just like this dopey, downsy look on his face as he's staring at this guy. And I guess the way so there's the way it all happened, and then there's the way that the internet decided that it happened. So, like I said, they're at the Lincoln Memorial, and the black Israelites, they refer to themselves as like the lost tribe of Israel. They're a group of black guys who think that they are like a lost connection to the Israelites or something absurd. They go out and rally and yell at white people, and they go to the gun range and they shoot, and they're basically preparing for the fucking overthrow of the white supremacy or whatever these fucking nut jobs are up to. They hang out in the city all the time. You'd find them in like Harlem and Times Square and shit. They just yell at people. They're fucking morons. Anyway, they're taunting the MAGA kids who were there for the March for Life. It's a big pro-life rally. And then this Indian fucking guy, I don't know if he's just hanging out there with his drum or if he was at a protest too, but in any case, it's Washington, D.C., and there are always just a bunch of jackasses out holding some kind of rally or protest in Washington, D.C. And the MAGA kids are just, they're being teenagers, they're fucking around, doing whatever. And this Indian just starts drumming up. he says he's intervening in a fight between them and the black guys, but he just gets up in the MAGA kid's grill and starts fucking pounding his drum, and some of the kids are dancing, and the MAGA kid's just staring at him with like a big fucking dopey look on his face. He looks like if like Tony Romo was 12 years old and kind of retarded. I don't know if that's the best way to describe him, but that's what came to mind. Like a retarded Paul Rudd. But the kid's just standing there and he's staring at him like a weirdo. And this is the clip that kind of went viral. And the angle that it's shot from, it makes it look like the MAGA kids are surrounding the Indian and not letting him go, and he's playing his drum in like a defiant stand against hate and racism and everything horrible that the stupid fucking red hat stands for. Except that's not how it went down. The way it really was just a shitload of people in a huge open space. And the teenagers were not surrounding him. Like I said, he walked up to them. And if anyone initiated this entire thing, it's the Black Israelites and this fucking Chief Longbeard or whatever the fuck his name. He doesn't even have a beard. That's a shitty name for a chief if you don't have a beard. Chief Beating Drum here. So the kids out of the entire group are probably the most innocent, and they're teenagers. I'm sure they were being dickheads in some manner, as teenagers are wont to do. But despite the kid being sort of a downsy weirdo, the public response to this thing was just insane, and it vindicates Donald Trump's claims that there's a media bias against him and his base, right? Because what does he always say? The unfair, the lying, the crooked media, like they're never fair. They treat me very unfairly, folks. And what do? They see a kid in a Make America Great Again hat, and they treated him unfairly. It's a double standard. They would never... David Hogg has not had to stand up to this level of media scrutiny. I remember when the Parkland kids got like criticized by Fox News, and was it Laura Ingraham like lost all sorts of advertising deals and shit like that. Now, granted, you probably shouldn't go after a bunch of teenagers in the aftermath of their school getting shot up by a mentally unhinged dickhead with a Bushmaster, an AR, or whatever the fuck he was carrying, but it also doesn't mean that those kids are beyond reproach, right? They've made themselves public political figures. They're open to criticizing. But I have a feeling that Reza Aslan would not go out and say that David Hogg has the most punchable face. Because that is apparently what he said about the MAGA kid. Said, and a lot of people... Honestly, when I saw his face, I was like, a pretty punchable face. But I am not, I wasn't putting that out there as a media talking point. I was just a guy in a basement who was scrolling through Twitter going, oh, wow, I have no context for this video, but wow, does that kid have a punchable fucking face. But to the point, if anyone with any kind of high profile was tweeting that David Hogg has a punchable face, and argument's sake, David Hogg has a very punchable face and a very punchable voice, and pretty much anything you ever see out of David Hogg just makes him more and more punchable. He is a very punchable looking person. But you would never be able to get away with that. I mean, there would be an online... the mob would be calling for your fucking head. Instead, they're calling to dox these kids. And if you don't know what doxing is, I had to explain doxing to my father yesterday. Doxing is when you go out and you track down pieces of information on someone, where they live, where their family lives, where their family works, where they work, and you try to essentially disrupt and ruin their lives. They want... what did Kathy Griffin said? I want names. Name them and shame them. And she says, because these little fuckers wouldn't hesitate to dox you. So this Kathy Griffin, a very well-off, well-to-do, well-known comedian, is saying that we should track down the families of teenagers who had an awkward moment on a school trip. That is Kathy Griffin's plan to solve hate in America. Nathaniel Friedman, I guess he's an editor for GQ, a woman who works for a conservative outlet, tweeted, "Whatever, for God's sake, do not dox these teenagers, their children," or something like that. And Nathaniel Freedom retweets it and says, "Dox them all. All of them have to be doxed. We have to track down every one of these teenagers needs to be found, exposed, and have their lives ruined because of an out-of-context moment." And very out of context, right? Because, again, a 2-hour video was released that sort of exonerates these kids. And Reason, if you want, you can get it from Reason.com. Robbie Sove, is it Sove? Suave? I don't know, Soev? Did a whole write-up on it. But these idiots, people went out and tried to dox these kids. And, of course, it's the internet, and there are a lot of people, I think, I forget the kid's name is like Nick Sandman or something like that. But, you know, a million dopey-looking teenagers with MAGA hats, a million kids named Nick, and really easy to fuck that up. And it's happened before. People have fucked up doxings. It happens like every time someone gets doxed. The wrong person gets. Remember that Boston Marathon? They ruined that one guy, that Sikh guy's life because they thought he was the fucking bomber. They ruined. Some family was away having a family wedding, and they got accidentally doxed by people looking for the MAGA kids, and they were getting like death threats and shit over a family wedding weekend. This is what these idiots calling for people to dox these kids. This is what it turned into. And you say, you know, why did this happen? And it's because it fits a media narrative. And now the media, because of this incident, can no longer claim that they are not inherently biased against Donald Trump and his supporters. And I'm sitting here, it's 2019. At this time in 2016, if you had told me that I'd be sitting here defending Donald Trump and his supporters, I would have said you were fucking nuts. But I mean, this is really, it just fits. I mean, you can plug in the white private school teenager on a trip to oppose abortion, wearing his Make America Great Again hat, what Alyssa Milano called it, the new Klan hood, wearing his hat and standing defiantly in the face of an older Native American gentleman who's playing the song of his people on a drum. I mean, you could not better insert these characters into the CNN, MSNBC narrative, and that's why it wasn't questioned until the MAGA people were like, hey, what the fuck, let's hear this kid's side of the story before you go around ruining lives because this kid's, this kid's family doesn't like abortion, so they voted for the guy who said he was going to make sure that there weren't abortions, which, we can have a separate debate about that. That's a very reasonable discussion. But you just wanted your knee-jerk, you wanted to satisfy your knee-jerk and go out of your way and ruin this kid's life, which, again, teenagers, who should be the more mature one here? For argument's sake, let's just say these kids were being disrespectful dicks. So what? My entire teenage experience, nay, my life experience from 13 through 27 involves me being a disrespectful dick. I'm 33. I'm going to be 34 in a couple months. still kind of a disrespectful dick at times. These kids are 16, 17. I'm twice their age. I still have that teenage boy disrespectful dick in me. It's, and everyone's gonna have a degree. Everyone carries a degree of that stupid teenager with them through life. But this is a world, millions and shitloads of it, however many people fucking retweeted and jumped on this bandwagon of adults dogpiling on children. Some of whom, none of them can drive, or none of them can vote. Many of them cannot drive. They're kids. They're not even in college yet. They have curfews, and they might have bedtimes. What are you doing as an adult working for a massive mainstream media outlet that part of your day involves trying to ruin the futures of these kids because they wore a hat that you don't like and they have a political opinion that you don't share? And when you see stuff like that, you understand why people got so bugged out over that Gillette commercial. Like I said, I didn't really give a shit about the Gillette commercial, but that's just because I have incredibly thick skin. There are moments, actually the entire fucking thing is one big giant pandering, steaming pile of shit to sort of the social justice left, right? It's blame white males for this, blame toxic masculinity for that. But it was pretty much a veiled fuck you to anyone with an ounce of testosterone. And what sort of exemplifies the thing that group that put out that ad and who runs the mainstream media and all this other shit, what signifies everything that those people hate more than a young white male who will not back down in the face of opposition from a noble Native American. I mean, that is just their absolute bread and butter. So the kid gets dragged by the insano internet. The new video comes out, and everybody is eating absolute shit over it. I mean, the gloating going on the MAGA side, because now they know they got one where they're definitely right. Because usually with the MAGA crowd, they're on either extreme really, but some of these victories are kind of thin. But this one is, it really just exposed the mainstream media with just that fourth wall came crashing down, and we saw exactly that they are selling you, the media is selling you the story that they want to sell you, and not the story that they're supposed to sell you. Because the media is supposed to give you the story based on the facts, not the story based on what will rile up their base to get rid of Trump in 2020. And on that note, I'm going to wrap things up. Ooh, we're under an hour. Isn't that lovely? About 50 minutes. But what's going on? Not a whole lot. Okay, let me close this bitch out with a little social media. One final social media plug. Facebook.com/SavageCruise. We're watching or can find all of this shit. If you're watching the live stream, you know exactly where you are. Twitter @Mike Montone and @Gary_Moyler, MOYLER on Instagram. And then you can find all of the old podcast episodes at thesavagecrew.libsyn.com. And thank you for listening. Please tell your friends about this show. I know I get people come up to me all the time like, "Hey man, love the podcast, love what you're doing, love the page." I'm like, it would be great if more people echoed that sentiment. Let's get it out there. If you like the show, if you like the page, then you probably run in a circle of people who would also like the show and like the page and all that other shit. So share it with them. I know it's hard to tag this on your personal profiles because you could get in trouble for liking so abhorrent and obscene and lose your job, and your family will be starving, and you'll be on the streets, and you'll have to do gay porn to feed your child. I get it. Some of you have expressed that very concern to me, and I understand. And you've told me that if you're going to wind up doing gay porn, it's going to be for the love of the game and not just to feed your kids. But all that aside, if you know someone who might like it, just message it to them. Take the link, text it to them, whatever. You don't have to share it publicly. I understand that. On that note, I'm going to wrap things up, and I will catch you on the flippity side.